I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, no matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what, told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up.
Oh, shuck it, duck it.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. What's up, Savannah? What's up, Julius? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Turn this
I'm
TV down.
excited. I know I've been gone for a couple of weeks. Forgive me, but I had to get myself together. And Marie, our co-host, she's not going to be with us tonight because she'll be at a graduation at Savannah State. But what we want to do tonight, we want to start this thing all over again. I mean, I've been hearing about so many different stories, so many different categories, and I believe that we need to be talking about these things. Why? Because here at Incarceration to Incorporation, we want to provide a platform for our returning citizens. We want to provide a platform for the relatives of returning citizens, and we want to provide a platform for resources for returning citizens. But in doing so, we are going to need you. That's what we're doing tonight. We are speaking to you, Savannah. We are speaking to you, not just Savannah, Facebook, YouTube, and radio stations, but we are speaking to all returning citizens and relatives. But before I get too far, I want to, allow people to understand what we got going on tonight. So, for a moment, hit that share button, if you will. Hit that share button so that people would know that returning citizens have a voice. And that's what Julius and I are going to be talking about tonight. You, returning citizens, you have a voice. You, relatives of returning citizens, you have a voice. Resources. There are so many resources out there, but many of these reentry resources don't have a platform or a voice to allow us to know about that. And that's what Julius Hall has committed. Julius Hall is giving us a platform so that all of us can let people know that we are here. And Julius, I want to say thank you for that, brother.
Hey, no problem, my brother. That's what we're all here for, is one person helping another person, each one reach one and lift one up. And that's what it's all about. If we can't do it, then nobody else is going to do it for you, So we got to be able to be the help that we're looking for. And
exactly. And I want you, Julius, because I'm going to ask you from time to time. You got to remember, I haven't heard it in a while. And I believe that our listeners haven't heard it in a while, at least our Incarceration to Incorporation listeners. And what do I mean by that? What's your definition of a debt?
Once paid, a debt is no longer a debt. You don't owe anybody anything once you pay it. Once you pay your price, or that price that was issued to you, then you owe nobody else. That's why I walk the way I walk. That's why I talk the way I talk. Nobody can shame me. Nobody can't tell me anything that is going to make me feel bad. Hell, I felt bad for 21 years. You think you going to make me feel bad after that? You didn't have the right to sentence me. You didn't have the right to give me any extra time or any extra punishment. So I'm supposed to feel bad because you want me to feel bad. Not going to happen. Not in this world. No, I ain't got that long to live. What I look like letting you make those last days of my life miserable. Really? Not gonna happen.
He finna get crunk, y'all. He finna get crunk. But before you get crunk, Julius, because I want you to use that passion as we remind people who we are. I see you, partner, watching, brother. I want people to remember who we are. That is number one. Then as we remind them who we are, I want them to know where we are, what we are doing right now. And then finally, after we remind them of who we are and where we are, we can allow them to know what they are. So let me start from the beginning. Who we are. What is incarceration to incorporation? I believe that we got to remind you of that. And one of the ways that we are going to do that is JB. JB was the brainchild, excuse me, AB. AB is the brainchild of incarceration to incorporation. What he did was he envisioned a platform that would encourage men and women who are returning from incarceration, to motivate them, to move them into their true calling, whether that is a business leader, an organization leader, a family leader, an employment leader. He wanted us to know that we can transition from one place to the other, incarceration to incorporation. But that brainchild would not have happened if it were not for Julius Hall and his mindset. Julius provided this platform, Incarceration and Incorporation, or all things relevant media. He provided this platform for us to remember that we may have started out wrong, but look at us now. We are finishing strong. We are not who they say we used to be. I am not 836-323. I am not inmate. What I am now is I am a productive, positive member of society. That's what you are. So that's what I wanted to first remind you. Incarceration to incorporation is an entity that will help encourage and motivate our returning citizens to let them know that we are no longer what or who we used to be. Julius, before I move on into where we are now, do you have something you want to share as it relates to reminding them of who we are?
Well, it's just that you are who you think you are. But if you don't put those wheels in motion to make it happen, then you'll forever be stuck being somebody who they want you to be. But you can be all you can be and all you want to be if you just step outside that box. You know, you don't have to go back to a life of crime. You don't have to sit back idle and not make a living for your family. All you have to do is just put one foot in front of the other one and move forward. And here on this platform, we try to provide those resources, that information. If it isn't in a monetary form, it's information and resources that can get you up on your feet. We want to give you that encouragement. We want to give you that education. We want to make sure that we're there with you if you need somebody to talk to. If you need those, we're connecting the dots for you. That's what this whole thing is about. Because we don't want you to go back into the system. We've been there. We know how it is. And we don't want you to feel like you're not worthy of a good job, or you're not worthy of a good mate, or you're not worthy to be in certain places. You know, you are worthy. All you have to do is make sure that when you walk in any room, you're the most important person in that room. Every time you walk in it, ain't nobody more important in that room than you. Don't never let nobody think that they're more important than you, because they're not. And so,
Oh, I love it.
if we can just uh, help those guys who don't want to go back in, who don't want to go back in, those are the people that we're trying to help. Those ones who just hell bent on destroying themselves, ain't nothing too much we can do, because they already have that mindset that I'm gonna go back out and get it again. So that, and those ones that have not gone in yet, that's what we're trying to stop from going in that school to prison pipeline. So it's a lot we're trying to do. It's a whole lot. And anybody out there listening, if you can help us, you want to be a guest on the show, just give us a call. Call either Julius, either one of us, and we'll be happy to bring you on the show. If you got information that we can provide that can help somebody, the resources, a job. Right now, a friend of mine told me about the sugar refinery. They need 50 guys out there, starting paid $22 an hour. And you can go out there and get a job as as an ex-felon, a returning citizen. So it's just those resources. Us knowing those people, me knowing that guy who told me if I know anybody to send them out there. You know, driving a forklift, working in the sugar refinery. So um, um,
Now that's true.
that's what we provide.
That's who we are. Now I want to remind them where we are. What do I mean when I say where we are? Since I've been home, I want to share my story, and then Julius can share his story. I've been home now nearly 3 years, and in that 3 years, there have been so many doors that have been open to me. Why am I saying this? Am I saying this to flaunt or boast? No, I'm saying this to motivate and encourage. Now, many of you know me as a minister, a mentor, and a motivational speaker. And one thing I like to say is that our story is not simply just for us. Our story is an impetus to motivate and move others to be where we are right now. And you may say, okay, Julius, where are you? Well, number one, I am now working as a life navigator. What is that, you may say? Well, a life gap navigator is an experienced, system-impacted person who is now helping to make other system-impacted persons make it to their destination safely. Period. That's what I do in a nutshell. I am here to help other young men and women get to the other side. Because what do I mean when I say system impacted? Those that have experienced court, those that have been in juvenile or jail, we are impacted by the system, be it negatively or positively. And so, but I did not stop there with the system. After the doors were open for me, I was able to progressively prepare myself to be in the position that I'm in now. What do you mean by that? Progressively prepared myself through education. Not only have I progressively prepared myself through education, but through trades and training and skills. Now that I've put these tools in my tool belt, these doors have opened to me and I've been ready to walk in them. Men and women, those of you that are incarcerated right now, I am telling you to use that time wisely, right where you are. Prepare yourself, because I guarantee you the doors are going to open. And when they open, you need to be ready to walk in. And when you walk in, please walk in confidently. Walk in with an education, an aura that you know what you're doing. Because guess what? You are representing those that we left behind the walls. You are representing those that are re-entering society. So I wanted you to know where I am now. Not only am I a life navigator to system impacted youth, but I am also now a director of a nonprofit organization, OAA Savannah, Offender Alumni Association. What is that? Well, what we do, we are the largest alumni right now, I believe. Well, I can't say in the world because I think military might beat us, but what we are is we are a conglomeration of men and women who have been incarcerated. Now we're on the outside and we are changing things. We are changing the narrative. And I want Julius to speak about that in just a moment, how he himself has changed the narrative. But before he does that, I want to encourage you. Look where I was and look where I am now. Those of you who are home, whether it was 20 years ago or 20 days ago, look at where you are and where you're going. And that is the impetus that will motivate others. I see you, Leonard, Lee. I was looking for you for a while. I definitely want you to reach out because you have a story that I know many, many women need to hear, so that when they hear your story, they themselves will know that I am not in this thing alone. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to remind you of where we've been, where we are right now. Lastly, not only do I provide a safe space myself, Marie Jones, Miss Barbara Alfton, Miss Martina Yvette, and Paul Thomas, and we have a crew, Beverly Manning. We have a crew of men and women who are organized, and we want to provide a safe space for returning citizens to tell their story. If you keep your mouth closed, how can we help those that are coming out behind us? But before I go into more of that, Julius, I want you to tell the people just shortly, how are you yourself changing the narrative from where you were to where you are now?
Well, one thing that we have to look at is that we're not just representing those guys that were left behind the wall. We're role models for them. Because when they look out and say, how did you do it? We have the roadmap for them. That's what we are supposed to do. That's our obligation to them. It is our obligation to make sure that they know that if I can do it, so can you, and I'm going to help you to get to where you need to get at. Everybody that I know, 90% of the guys that I still talk to, and I talk to hundreds of them, that I was incarcerated with, they're all flourishing because they had a different mindset. I did federal instead of state, so it's a different type of mentality in the first place. So in the feds, it was all about getting money. When you go in the state, it's about everything. But in the feds, if you look at all the federal crimes that for people that are locked up, it's not all of them, but 99% of them, it's about getting money. They're locking you up for trying to get money illegally, but you were trying to get money. So these guys came out knowing that they don't want to go back, and now they have a different mindset. I got to make this money, but I got to make it legally. And they didn't have that opportunity the first time. The system got a hold of them, and now they realize that that's what they need to do. So, I'll turn it back on. But that's where we at. That's where we're at. We have to be able to set the example for everybody to show them that, look what I'm doing. Look what you're doing. You're a life navigator. A life navigator. You're gonna help somebody navigate through the storm so that they can get to where they need to go at. Here on this platform, which I have through a lot of help with all my friends, brought to from here to here now, and we're trying to get here. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. I'm not a Harvard or Princeton graduate. I just thought that I had an idea and I wanted to make it work. I tell anybody, you can put me anywhere in the world, and wherever I am, I'm gonna make it better. Anywhere in the world. They sent me to prison. I made it better. Ask anybody that was ever around me at any place I've been. I made whatever the condition was better. You can put me in a trash can. I'm going to make the trash can better. That's what I do. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people think I'm arrogant. I'm not arrogant. I just know what I can do. And that's what it is. You can do anything you want to do if you set your mind to do it. But that's
Now,
what
Julius, let me ask you a question. What's up, Marie? Marie says, hello, Mr. Hall. And she says she loved what you were saying. Let's speak a little bit about changing the narrative, because I want you to be specific. When we talk about, ladies and gentlemen, changing the narrative, you already know that there is a stigma, if you will, negatively, I might add, but there is a stigma when it refers to returning citizens. When we say we are changing the narrative, we are saying that not all returning citizens go back to prison. The recidivism rate, they say, is very high. But the point about that is there are those that are coming home, men and women, who are successful, who are doing well. And when we say successful, I mean from an organizational perspective, from a family perspective, from an employment perspective, they are doing well. And so where are those stories? Why aren't we hearing about that? The news and media is flooded with negative stories, but why are people not running to promote or publicize, if you will, those positive stories of men like yourself who came home, who has run for mayor, who is doing well in his community, who is promoting other people, Black-owned media? Where are those stories? Where are those stories like Marie, who has come home and is a wonderful mother to her children, who is out in the community trying to help those who have autism, who are out there right now trying to make sure that men and women have a place to live? She has a passion for the homeless. We went out one day, OAA, and we cleaned up the city of Savannah and we fed the homeless, and that is our passion. Where are those stories? Or there are countless other men and women who are doing well. AB, right now, his own businesses. There are many men, and that's what we want, ladies and gentlemen. If you know somebody who is doing well by those standards, when I say that, relationally, occupationally, organizationally, tell us those stories. You can get in contact with us. We are going to put that in our chat room. Julius, make sure you put down our email, julius@deepcenter.com, and also your email, ATR Consultant. We want people to get in touch with us so that these stories will be told. I know one thing that we often like to say as it relates to changing the narrative, and that is, I may have started this thing out wrong, but look at me now. I'm finishing strong. There's a young man that's on right now, Leonard Lee Jones. I knew him for a long time, and he's out and doing really well. I see you, Mr. Terry Tobit. Also, Mr. Terry Tobit says he just shared a post about men graduating in prison, getting their education behind the walls. Thank you, Mr. Tobit. And we want to continue to share those stories about men and women inside the prison doing well, preparing themselves for another opportunity. Tisha Fulton, all the way in Las Vegas. What's up, cousin? She's doing wonderful as well. Please, if you have those stories, get those stories to us. Why? So that we can change the narrative of what's going on. We are successful in our own right. Don't you think that the truth, Julius?
That's absolutely correct. But you asked where those stories was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny that you say that because we just talked about that the other day. You know where those stories are? Those stories are on this platform. That's where those stories are, on this platform. We bring you those people who are doing great things, who've been in are returning citizens. We bring you the success stories. We bring you the startups. Those people who want to do better, who are trying to make it, who don't want to get back in any type of trouble. We are the role models for those people. We bring those testimonies right here on this platform. We can't wait for nobody else to do it. Look what we're doing. We got 20 plus shows on this platform. 20 plus organized, crafted shows from sports to health to finances to comedy to politics to returning citizens to mental health. We got it all. And do you think they ever once, they know about us because they watch us. We catch them watching us all the time, WTOC. But have they ever done a story on what we're doing? No. Because it's positive. They don't want anything positive being sent out to our community, not about us. Everything you see on the news is negative about us. So they'll pick those one or two stories, and then they'll highlight all the sellouts who don't mean our community is any good. They do that. That's just a fact of life. Those people that sell out our community, they highlight. They don't mind putting them in the spotlight. So we give those stories right here. We do. You and me and Marie and AB and all the other guests and co-hosts that we have on here. You know, we tell those stories, those success stories, Pastor Smalls and Leonard Harris. You know, we tell those stories right here on this platform. That's what we're here for. And then people just need to start understanding. One person told me, said, I asked them whether they knew about ATR or OUR. And they said, no, I ain't never heard of it. They live in Savannah. And I say, I don't watch no TV. I don't be on social media. I said, well, where do you get your news from? He said, every now and then I turn the TV on. I said, well, every now and then, here's some news from your community to you. Something positive. It ain't got to be nothing negative. Because that's what he had said. There was so much negativity, he didn't want to turn it on. Well, we try not to just talk negative. We give you the news that you can use, and we give you information that you can use to lift you up, not tear you down, unless you're trying to hurt this community.
Awesome. So again, who are we? We are reminding you, incarceration to incorporation. Where are we? Right now, we are in a place where we have progressively prepared to be. These places in our lives, success stories. What are we doing? We want to give you a platform for 3 target audiences. 1, returning citizens. This is a safe space for you to share your story. This is an opportunity for you to help somebody else, because I know somebody helped you. But not just to returning citizens, this is also a platform for the relatives of returning citizens. We've had countless stories of men who have loved women that are incarcerated, or women who are in love with men, love and lockup. We want you to know that we are here. We can relate to what you're going through. You are not in this thing alone. Those are the relatives of returning citizens. And then lastly, to the resources. I want you to know that you can use this platform to let us know that there are jobs out there for those who are looking for those jobs. I want you to know that you can let us know about your resources to help educationally, to help when it comes to mental issues, to help when it comes to networking. We want you to help us to get the word out. As Julia said, connecting the dots. There are people who don't know where that job is located. There are returning citizens who don't have access to that educational opportunity. There are people who need us to connect those dots, and that is why we're here. So please, again, if you're listening to us, hit that share button and tell others that I know a platform where you can find help. I know a platform where your story can be heard. I know a platform where they understand what we are going through. There are stories that we got coming up right now on a plethora of stories. Education, as Julius talked about, the school to prison pipeline. There are countless teachers right now that's fighting, going to bat for our students. They need to hear, you need to hear their stories of how they're fighting for us. We're going to have stories about men and women who have survived incarceration and they are thriving and doing wonderfully. You're going to hear stories of men and women who come home from incarceration and they have their own businesses. They're going to motivate you. You're going to hear stories of redemption, of forgiveness, of relationship. And they're going to be right here, not just on Incarceration to Incorporation, but on ATR, All Things Relevant Media, or OUR. We want you to come, listen to us, but also to be motivated and encouraged. Maria will be back with us. AB will be back with us. Julius is going to be on. And those stories that we share with you are going to be riveting, informative, heartwarming, and above all, they will change the narrative so that we can capture the attention of the media to let them know returning citizens are doing well. Julius, you agree with me?
100%. One thing that people have to understand when it comes to us, they'll talk about us all day long, anything that we might have done 30 years ago or 27 years ago. They'll talk about it all day long. But what they have to do when they really dig deep is look at this. People aren't running from us. People are running to us all day long. I got people calling me that's running for governor and lieutenant governor and attorney general and secretary of state and every other position in the state. They ain't running from me, they're running to me. So all the haters can hate all they want. I'm just doing me. I ain't in nobody's way. I'm staying in my lane. I know what I do best. I don't care what nobody else is doing, as long as it's not hurting my community. I don't care what nobody else is doing. That's what you do. Keep doing it. And we're going to do what we can to make sure our community grows and flourishes. We're going to make sure that those returning citizens get the information they need so they can be productive citizens again. We're going to make sure that our children know that they don't have to belong to gangs. It's a whole lot that we have on the horizon for the upcoming season of Ink to Ink and the things that we'll be doing. You'll see us out at events for stopping the crime, stopping the violence. You'll see us having some youth on so we can try to understand what they're talking about. We're aligning all these things up so we can understand what they're feeling, so we can be more in tune to what they're thinking and what they're doing and how we can help them to not go to the next level of being incarcerated. So just stay tuned, because this is what we do and this is what this platform is for. AB will be back after a while. AB has opened up a store and then he got 2 jobs. So, but we thank him for just having the mindset to say, he created Ink to Ink, and I gave it the platform. Now, what you're doing is you're breathing air into it. You know what I'm saying? It's like creating the Frankenstein monster. It takes all different parts to make it work. And that's what we do collectively on this platform. We make it work for however we can together as a group. Marie is there bringing the woman's perspective.
Right.
So, so it's a team effort. And we invite anybody that want to tell a story, anybody that has a great idea, anybody that has started a business and want to give their testimony. Come on, give us a call. Let us put you in the lineup.
Julius, as we get ready to turn the corner to come to an end, I just want to share a story. And I love sharing stories. And as I to the premise of this story, I want to say this. Every story is an important story. Every one of your stories are important, and we want to hear your stories. I was talking to a man not long ago, as Julius said, at the Stop the Violence rally. And incidentally, there are other rallies that are getting ready to come about. AWJ conference in Atlanta that's talking about helping returning citizens to get a second chance at employment. Thursday, that's coming up at Armstrong, there will be another returning citizens rally so that we can find out how incarceration affects our community and how we can, again, hear the stories of success and employment. And so we are going to continue to keep you abreast on those events. April 23rd, OAA, what are we doing? We are having a me time event for women, those who have been incarcerated or parents of those who have been incarcerated. We want you to know that we care and that your story is real. But as I was talking about a story, listen to me. You right now that's incarcerated, you're thinking, am I ever going to make it? Will I ever get a chance? The opportunity will present itself. But if you want to be the best you that you can be, I encourage you, I implore you, progressively prepare. There are so many men and women who are not ready for opportunities that are presented them. Ignorance is not bliss. Again, ignorance is not bliss, because when that opportunity comes, many of us are giving a mouthpiece, but we don't know what to say. I was talking to a brother today, and he was encouraging me, but he was also informing me, Julius, there are so many people who are getting opportunities, but they squander those opportunities because they are ignorant. I want you, returning citizen, relative of returning citizen, resources for returning citizen, use this time to educate yourself on what's going on right now. Educate yourself on what's going on the inside of the prison. That may help bring prison reform. Educate yourself on what's happening to men and women that are coming home from prison. That is reentry reform. Educate yourself on recidivism so that we can tell the story that it is not as high as many people think that it is. Educate yourself on those who are actually ready for a job. Then you can network. And when you begin to network, we are helping one another. So as I was listening to that story of the individual who was given an opportunity but squandered it because they were not knowledgeable enough of the situation, please prepare, progressively prepare, so that when that door opens, you can run through confidently. We may have started this thing off wrong, but look at us now. We are finishing strong. Julius, as we get ready to come to a close, you have any parting words?
No, other than don't let anybody steal your shine or dim your shine, because you're all that you have to make everything in your world work. A lot of people are gonna not want you to succeed, but you can succeed. All you gotta do is just keep chipping at it, keep knocking, keep knocking. Don't take no for an answer. Let it be your motivation. You know, if once paid, a debt is no longer a debt, so you don't owe anybody. Don't let anybody shame you about anything. If you've been to prison, you just been to prison. That's someplace they ain't been. You know, so so just let your the evidence of what you produce be your testimony. Your going forward. You know, whatever's behind you, you ain't got to look back. That's behind you. The only thing you need to be focused on is what's in front of you. And so that's my parting words to anybody out there that's looking, anybody out there that needs to hear that those words of encouragement, you can always call us anytime and get that. You don't have to be a returning citizen. You can be on the edge of wanting to do something bad. You might, even if you need those kids out there that might need mentoring. If we can't put them in and fit them in where we are, we might can find somebody for them. So, don't give up on them, because some kids are just a talk away from doing the right thing, and that's our obligation. We're obligated to do and bring up our community and make it better. If that's not what you're for, then you shouldn't even be breathing air.
My words of encouragement to all of you, to my brothers and sisters that are incarcerated. Hold on. Hold on. Keep on. Hold on and keep on. Progressively prepare. To my brothers and sisters who have come home and you are struggling, you can make it. You can make it. You are not in this thing by yourself. We are here for you. Here at Ink to Ink, here at OAA Savannah, we are here to help you in any way we can, whether it's to prop you up, whether it's to pump you up. We are here. Employment, encouragement, networking. Don't give up. We're going to tell you these stories. We're going to provide you with these resources. You can make it. And to my community, when you are listening and looking for an opportunity to be there for somebody, if you know about a job, tell somebody. If you know somebody that's struggling, direct them to somebody. We need each other. Connecting the dots. Incarceration.
That's what
Reentry. Community. We are here to help each other. So, Marie, I know you're listening. Much love to you. AB, I know you're listening. Much love to you. Julius, as always, I appreciate you and this platform. And to those of you that are watching, we need you. We need you. Share. Tell others. And we'll be here to provide you with what you need. Guarantee you. Be blessed. We'll see you next Friday. Ink to Ink. OAA. Love you.
Good night, everybody.
like that.